me ask you a question, brother.
What's up?
How did it feel playing for the Jets last year as wide receiver?
Okay.
And then a follow-up,
Yeah.
you get tired of telling people, I'm not that damn Brandon Marshall.
Well, it felt great. You know, I would fly back to Denver every time I get done in my game in New York. But, you know, I mean, sometimes it gets tiring.
You get tired of that, right?
I get tired of it sometimes.
I get John Sally all the time.
Oh, man.
I'm tired of it, brother. You know what I mean? I get cartoon characters sometimes.
Oh, man.
Cartoon characters, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, man. I want everybody to know there's 2 Brandon Marshalls in the NFL.
There's 2.
There's 2.
And one is playing on the big game on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And he's going to make a big impact.
Oh, yeah.
That was Brandon Marshall of the Denver Broncos on media night, encountering our Mr. Correspondent, as he wants to be called, Rich Eisen Show media night correspondent, J.B. Smoove. Now I have the New York Jets Brandon Marshall right here on the Rich Eisen Show.
The other B. Marsh.
I mean, now, were you guys ever teammates?
Never.
No, never teammates.
Never.
Okay.
Never. So he came out of Nevada a couple years ago. And when people started tweeting, you know, he hit me up. He's like, man, B, people are DMing me or sending these messages, and I think they want to get to you. So that's when I first met him. Actually, this year we did a piece together where we actually did questions. So there was a local station in Denver, and that was our first time really meeting. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's funny how people must confuse you all the time. You know, you guys, you know, are different people, different teams, different positions, but it happens.
He does a great job at it. You know, usually I just, you know, ignore it. Yeah. But he has fun with it, where he plays into it on Twitter, and I just watch, and it's funny.
Does he ever?
Yeah, probably he has like 30,000 of my followers.
Wait a minute, that's wrong.
Yeah, like I hate it because I should probably have like 1 million followers now. Yeah. But this guy, he's taking them.
That's right. At B Marshall on Twitter, and this week you are taking over at Audience Sports for the Audience Network, which is our exclusive home of the Rich Eisen Show.
These people have a lot of money, man. Look at this.
Well, I mean,
look at this set.
Well, they pour it all into it. This mug, however, is held together by Scotch tape. You know what I mean?
But this set, Audience Sports.
I could not be more happy, you know, to be doing stuff like this at the Super Bowl and having guests like you coming on and you taking over at Audience Sports on Instagram, Facebook. It's good times. So did you hear about the report that Colin Kaepernick wants to throw passes to you? Did you hear about that?
Hold on. So, no, tell me what he
So
actually said.
The New York Daily News reports that Kaepernick wants out of here in San Francisco and he wants to come play for the Jets.
Does he want to play for the Jets, or does he want to be in the New York market?
He wants to play for the Jets.
Okay.
Is what he says.
Because a lot of players come because they want the big stage.
Right.
So I'm just curious.
So no, apparently he wants that. This is what he's saying apparently behind the scenes. These are unnamed sources. You know those types, right? Unnamed sources. Yeah. So what would you think about that idea?
You know, I'm loyal. And Fitzpatrick, I think he earned it last year. I mean, this guy earned it, and he deserves to be our guy. He is our guy. I think that's the sentiment running through our whole building, not only the players, but the coaches and management. Everyone loves Fitz. And I tell our younger quarterbacks all the time, it's not about the physical. You know, you win the game here. It's 80% mental. And with Fitz, man, he leads up and he leads down, and you have to be a CEO at that position.
What do you mean by leads up and leads down?
So I tell our younger guys all the time, you know, you can, throw tight spirals or throw 80 yards, but that doesn't win ball games. You have to be able to manage egos, personalities. You have to have a great understanding of the offense in everyone's position. You have to have a great understanding of personalities. You have to have a great understanding of the business. This is corporate America. This is the entertainment business. You know, if you can't, if you can't navigate through all of that, you will fail in the National Football League. So Fitz has done a great job of that, and you look at the guys that we have around him. Not only do we have a great defense, which helps, we have a great running game, and we also have pretty good receivers like Eric Decker and our young guy Quincy. So I think he's in a great position to be successful in there, and he proved that last year.
Brandon Marshall here on the Rich Eisen Show. You know the way this business works better than most. Whenever you say something about a quarterback, about your own quarterback, people read into your comments. Like I'm doing that right now.
Yeah.
We all are, thinking that you might be referring to Jay Cutler. When you're saying this is what my quarterback does, this is what a quarterback has to do.
I'm just talking about Fitz right now, Fitz magic.
So the question is are you and Cutler cool? How would you say your relationship is with Jay Cutler?
You know, so we always say that So he said, so, for years, everyone, consider us brothers. And, it is my brother, but we haven't talked in almost 2 years.
Well, weren't you on the Bears for one of those years? Yes.
That's pretty good.
I'm like, wait a minute.
No, man, Jay, I mean, it's like that, man.
Okay.
It's, Jay has a lot of potential, and, he's in he has a great organization behind him. I love the Chicago Bears. They gave me an opportunity when, most teams wouldn't. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed my time there, and, they're first class.
Brandon Marshall here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you are, at the same time, balling out, getting ready for your next career. Is that a fair assessment of what you're doing right now? No?
I'm just having fun.
No, you are, but you have a great head on your shoulders, man. And I've known you for a long time.
Since you coming into the league.
I told this story yesterday. I met you at the rookie premiere. Met you at the rookie premiere. My wife covered you in college, and she's just, you got to meet this guy, because I'd never met you before. So before you even took a snap in the NFL,
correct,
I met you. And it seems to me that you understand there's more than just playing this game.
Absolutely.
It's playing it well, playing it as best you can, but using the opportunities that come from it.
There's a game on the field and there's a game off the field. You look at the percentage, 80% of us, we're in turmoil when we leave the game. Why? Because we grow up. I started playing ball when I was 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And, since then I've been defined by the sport. And actually, a couple years ago, and everyone knows my battle with mental health issues, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I'm wearing a Project 375 shirt now. Because
I am aware.
Yeah, because my goal is, I really believe that this is the next great stigma that our country has to attack. And I say that because, when I first came in the league, I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. And there's so much pressure and there's so many people pulling at us. And if we don't cope and deal with it the right way, it really can be a disaster. But again, I go back to the 80% of us in turmoil, and because we're so defined by that sport. And, the problem that I see is our guys wait to the last minute to try to dive into something else, right? And it's too late, because they don't care. Like, in a year or two, they're not going to care about me. They care about Odell Beckham Jr. They care about Jarvis Landry. Those are the young studs. Those are the guys who sell tickets, right? So while you have a seat at the table, while those doors are open, you take advantage of that, because you can gain life experiences, business experiences, and you can start finding out your other interests outside of football. And for me, I found it. I want to eradicate the stigma surrounding mental health. That's number one. I believe that's my purpose. I want to help bridge the gap in the mental health community. The second thing I want to do is I want to do television. Why do I want to do television? Because it's another platform. Football's going to be gone. I want to do TV to eradicate the stigma surrounding mental health.
But doing it while you play football is that at all in any way a distraction to anything?
Yeah. So I'll say this. You have to understand who you are. So I say this to the younger players. The first year or two, football is your number one priority. Once you understand the business, once you get into a routine, once you establish yourself, then you go out, because that's what's going to pay the bills. You're not going to go out and make, millions of dollars anywhere else. It's going to be really hard to do that. Only a few do that. But I challenge people. One of the things I wanted to do once I took the job on inside the NFL last year, I wanted to get our players to expand their brain and how they approach life and get outside the box. We always say, football players, this is who you are. That's defined us our whole life. That's why we're in turmoil. But there's Tuesdays, there's off seasons, there's Mondays where you may have Victory Monday, you may have time to do an internship. In season, come on, man. We push our bodies to the limit mentally and physically. You mean to tell me you can't pick up a book for an hour? You mean to tell me you can't go take a meeting with a mentor for an hour or do a lunch, or go on inside the NFL for 2 hours to get reps, to learn the business? To me, that's really bad, and I think that's a big reason why our guys are so unhealthy, because they don't take advantage of those opportunities.
Brandon Marshall is here. I'm going to take a quick 60-second break and come back. I'm going to make you turn you into the member of the paparazzi.
Okay.
And we'll talk to Bull 50 a little bit. Okay. And then I know you would like to give me some advice.
Okay.
To turn the tables.
Oh, yes,
yes.
I do.
See, I'm also just letting you know, that's setting the table.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a tease.
Okay.
You want to throw it a break?
Yeah, hey, listen, so we don't have a teleprompter, but we'll be back in about 60 seconds, me and my guy Rich.
Say the name of the show.
Oh, this is the Rich Eisen Show on Audience Sports Network.
Yes, and the radio too. Well done.
Fitzpatrick, you know.
The man who is on the receiving end of all that Fitz magic. You like that song, Brandon Marshall? Yeah. Throws touchdowns. Brandon Marshall here on the Rich Eisen Show before we send you off to our Twitterverse as well as the Facebook and also Instagram pages at Audience Sports, which you're kind enough to be manning for us this week.
They need to follow me all week. It's going to be
Let's
cool.
do it. I'm already in, no doubt about that. So what do you think about Super Bowl 50? Give me your paparazzi take on how you think this is going to break down here.
It's two parts to it. It's a festival, right?
Yeah.
So you have the show all week, and that's why you guys hired me at Audience Sports, right, to cover the celebrities, the parties,
There you go.
the athletes. So there's that aspect of it, and then there's the game. You know, that's
an afterthought.
the finale.
It's always an afterthought.
Yeah, the fireworks, and then that's
Right.
the game.
Right.
And as a player, you know, I can only imagine, because I've never been in the Super Bowl, but as a player, you have to be able to navigate through it properly. As far as, you know, guys like myself, you got to come out and enjoy it. There's so much going on, so many opportunities.
Marshall Faulk said he almost passed out before the game.
Really?
That he went out on the turf, went crazy coming out of the tunnel, and got dizzy.
Yeah.
Almost passed out because he was so hyped for it.
Well,
for
the biggest
game.
stage that I've been on was the NFL Combine, and I almost passed out
serious.
before my 40-yard dash.
Is that right?
True story. I was cramping. I ended up running a 4.49 and a 4.50, but literally I was cramping on my first 40. I could have probably ran a low 4.4. Were you like that the last year?
That's my problem. Is I pass out at the end of it. You understand?
Didn't you pull a
I am
hamstring or
fully.
something?
Yes, at 1 year. I am fully on the 40-yard dash line. I am focused. I am locked in.
Yeah.
I want it so bad.
Listen,
I really want
I
it
got
so
you.
bad.
This is what
Brandon.
I'm gonna
This
do.
is the advice you want to give me.
So
Okay.
I'm going to spend some time in LA, and I know you live in LA, right?
I do, yes.
Yep. So I'm not going to tell your address because I know your address. I Googled you. Just Google him, his address.
Look out.
But anyways, I'm going to bring my trainer out. He's been training me for 10 years.
Okay.
He has a company called Fitspeed.
Okay.
And I told him last year, I said, man, why don't we go out to LA and train him for the 40? The only thing we're going to work on your flexibility. We're going to work on your lower leg strength, okay? Your leg strength, I should say, and the 10 yards. The
Now-
first 10 yards, you start in the 10. If we can get you down, you know, to right around, let's say, a 1.7 in a 10, you'll be good.
I'll tell you what, last year was the first time there was an electronic timing of my 40.
Yeah.
Because they kept the electronic timers up.
Yep.
And my 10-yard split was 2.4.
So that's
Dreadful.
So we got to get you down to
it was
1.7,
awful.
1.8.
But that also meant that I ran the last 30 in less than 4 seconds.
Yeah. No.
So you're saying there's a chance, is
No.
what I'm thinking about.
No, yes, there's a chance if I'm going to bring my guy out, okay?
Now, I do, believe it or not, work on my flexibility all year long. It may not look it behind this desk, but I work
pretty
on
flexible?
that. I work on it, okay?
but-
My problem is, too, is because you are, as you know, a showman.
Okay.
Okay? You know that you understand there's an entertainment aspect
Yes,
to this
I
whole
do.
thing. That if I ever, because Susie, my wife, who you know, she always says, you got to train for this. She's like, please train for this. You don't want to get hurt. I just want you to break 6 seconds once or twice, break
No
it, and
one
then
cares
go
about
off.
the combine.
So
no one cares about the combine. I watch the combine to watch you. No, I'm serious. When is Rich running? I don't care about Chris Johnson. I don't care about freaking all these other guys, Odell Beckham Jr. I want to see Rich run.
So that means a lot to me. So I'm always concerned that if I actually try, like and train and tape it and whatever, then it's no longer,
You think?
fun for any.
I
me
think
and,
people will
try.
really love to follow you in that process, through that process
You
of
think?
training. Yes, absolutely.
Now you say you'll do it?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
going to do
are
it.
you there next month, for instance?
I'm
In
there
February?
next week.
Next week.
I'm there. So I'll have my guy out.
Oh my
Our
God.
studio in El Segundo, you come down.
Okay, let's do it.
We do this.
Simple stuff. We just need 10 yards. We're gonna do.
We just need 10 yards.
We need 10 yards and we need some weights. We're gonna do some weights.
Is that my mantra?
Will you
we just
commit?
need 10 yards. Will I commit?
Will you
I have
commit?
just committed to you, sir.
You guys heard.
It's just happened.
Matt Gates, get ready. Pack your bags.
This is going to happen. We'll put your trainer together with my trainer. We'll have your people talk to mine. And then we'll do lunch. That's my problem, too, is that then I got to eat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, then I got to get a bite to eat. That's my problem. You know, that's my problem. So who do you think wins this game? Super Bowl 50?
I think Carolina wins the game, but on Inside the NFL a couple of weeks ago, I picked the Denver Broncos to win 27-24, but over the Arizona Cardinals. So I can't renege. I'm going to stick with my pick.
So you're going to stick with
It's going to be
Denver.
tough. I'm going to stick with Denver, but it's going to be tough.
See, you are already, you're there, man.
Yeah.
See, where you just dropped the name of the show that you're on. You mentioned what pick you had. You then gave an out to everybody else to say, if it's Carolina, I said it, but I've said Denver on the show that I do. I mean, that's next level broadcasting right there, Brendan. What you just did takes years. And I learned, Dan Patrick was on the other side of this wall, I learned exact from him about how to name drop the show, about out trying to sound like you're name dropping the show. I mean, very well done.
Thank you,
Brendan.
man.
I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of you, man.
I'm
So
learning.
at Audience Sports is how we can follow your exploits this week. AT&T's Audience Network, the exclusive show home for this show, Dan Patrick, Joe Buck's new talk show,
Buck.
Undeniable.
Undeniable.
It's good stuff.
I need to catch a few more touchdowns to get on that show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, you've got many more years left in you. Viewers can also live stream it on the DirecTV app and Uverse app for smartphones and tablets, directv.com and uverse.com. Brockman, what do you have? Do you get the poll
Brandon,
question
you
today?
play about 2 more years. You're over 1,000 catches. That's kind of a benchmark for receivers in the Hall of Fame. Do you think T.O.'s a first ballot Hall of Famer? Have you thought about the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of talk, you know, being in New York about the Hall of Fame. You know, people were trying to crown me, but I can't focus on that. I'm still trying to get to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. Terrell Owens definitely should be first ballot. The guy, I mean, he was once in a lifetime player.
Tim Brown, who was here yesterday, said no first ballot because Jerry Rice is the only first ballot Hall of Fame wide receiver, which I did not know.
Really?
And he thinks that the voters should keep it that way.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, that's interesting, but T.O. to me
is interesting.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
100%.
But that's pretty powerful coming from Tim Brown, a guy
what
that
he
I
said.
respect. And then I may agree with him on that a little bit because Jerry Rice, I mean, you look at, you know, what he's done compared to all the other receivers. I think he's like 22,000 yards and the other guy's at like 15, so maybe.
Good to see you, Brandon. And I will see you next week.
Yep.
Right? We're going to do this.
Sir, let's do
If
it.
you say we're going to do it,
I'm there.
okay.
Let's do it.
I got to get.
You're committing to this on air, though, which doesn't necessarily, you're going to say it off air, too?
Yeah, by the way, that's
That's the rule.
another trick, too.
Yeah.
In the business. Saying it on the air,
Yeah.
it sounds like I'm in. No. You got to get me to commit to it off the air.
Off the air.
Yeah. Which I will do in about 10
okay.
seconds. I'll do that in about 10 seconds.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.